Okay, so you're thinking about maybe bringing an Ubuntu developer onto your team.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this awesome project in mind.
Right.
But honestly, where do you even begin?
Yeah.
It can feel like a maze out there.
You can.
Right. Well, in this mini deep dive,
Okay.
we're going to answer the top FAQs
Yeah.
that come up when you're looking to hire
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu talent.
Makes sense.
We'll cut through all that noise,
Yeah.
get you up to speed, fast.
Love it.
Before we jump in,
Yeah.
if you want a super simple way to get started, like right now,
Uh-huh.
head over to theperfectdeveloper.com
Okay.
and check out their 5 questions tool.
Yeah.
It's a quick and easy way to clarify exactly what kind of developer you need
Nice.
to help us break it all down.
All right.
I've got an expert here who's helped tons of businesses find their perfect Ubuntu match.
I tried.
Now let's get down to business.
All right.
First things first.
Yeah.
What exactly is an Ubuntu developer?
That's a great question.
I mean, we hear Linux, we hear Ubuntu.
Right.
What's the deal?
Well, while all Ubuntu developers are Linux developers, not
Mhm.
all Linux developers are Ubuntu experts.
Right.
These folks specialize in building, managing, and optimizing systems.
Okay.
Specifically for the Ubuntu operating system.
Okay, so they're not just tinkering around with Linux.
Right.
They're laser focused on Ubuntu.
Exactly.
So what are we talking about in terms of specific skills? What should you be looking for on a resume?
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Imagine you need to squeeze every ounce of performance out of your Ubuntu server.
Right.
You'd need someone who knows how to expertly configure Apache, optimize resource allocation using systemed,
Yeah.
and fine-tune the entire system for peak efficiency.
Yeah.
That's where deep Ubuntu knowledge comes in.
So it's not just about fixing things when they break.
Right.
It's about getting that extra 20% performance boost.
Yeah.
Because they know Ubuntu inside and out.
Exactly.
And that level of expertise in such a specialized area usually means a higher price tag.
Yes.
Let's be real. Everyone wants to know about the money.
Of course.
What kind of salary range are we talking about for these Ubuntu gurus?
You're right. Salary is a big question.
It is.
It really depends on experience and project complexity.
Okay.
For example, an entry-level developer might be around $50,000 to $75,000 per year,
Right.
while a seasoned pro handling complex projects could command upwards of $150,000.
Wow. Okay.
And, of course, location plays a role.
Yeah.
A developer in Eastern Europe might have different salary expectations than someone in the USA.
So there's a pretty wide range.
Right.
And it sounds like considering overseas talent could be a smart move, especially if budget is a concern.
Absolutely.
Expanding your search globally can open up a larger talent pool and potential cost savings.
For sure.
And if you're looking for a simplified approach to finding those developers, theperfectdeveloper.com can be a valuable resource. They can connect you with the right platforms or agencies based on your specific needs and budget.
It's a great resource.
So you figured out roughly how much budget you need to allocate.
Okay.
Now you're probably thinking,
Right.
okay, do I hire someone full-time, part-time,
Yeah.
build an in-house team,
Right.
or look to outsource?
Yeah. Good question.
How do you choose the right model?
Well, that depends on your project and how deeply Ubuntu is integrated into your business.
So let's say Ubuntu is mission critical for your operations.
Okay.
It's the backbone of everything you do.
Uh-huh.
Are we talking full-time hire in that scenario?
If you live and breathe Ubuntu,
Yeah.
a full-time developer becomes your dedicated expert for ongoing maintenance development
Right.
and that all-important scaling as you grow.
Makes sense.
They become an extension of your team, always there to tackle anything Ubuntu related.
Yeah.
But of course, that comes with the cost of a full-time salary and benefits.
Makes sense.
Right.
Now, what if you're not quite at that Ubuntu all-day, everyday stage?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need someone for specific tasks
Right.
or occasional projects.
Right.
Could part-time be a good fit there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you need help with things like periodic maintenance,
Yeah.
upgrades,
Right.
or security audits,
Right.
a part-time Ubuntu developer can be a smart move.
Okay.
You get the expertise without the commitment of a full-time salary.
Right.
Think of it like having a specialist on call for those crucial
Yeah.
but not constant Ubuntu needs.
So full-time for those heavily reliant on Ubuntu,
Right.
part-time for occasional needs.
Makes sense.
What about the classic dilemma? In-house versus outsourcing.
Yeah.
I'm sure our listener is weighing those pros and cons.
Of course, big decision.
So in-house versus outsourcing.
Both options have their advantages.
Okay.
With in-house, you get that direct collaboration and quick communication, which is invaluable when you need quick solutions.
Yeah.
Plus, they become part of your company culture.
But of course, that comes with additional costs
It does.
for benefits,
Yeah.
equipment,
Yeah.
maybe even office space.
Right.
Right.
On the other hand, outsourcing often brings cost savings,
Uh-huh.
especially if you tap into global talent pools.
Okay.
You can often find specialists with very specific Ubuntu skills
Right.
that might be harder to find locally.
But you might face communication challenges across time zones.
You might.
And building that cultural fit can be a bit trickier.
Yeah, that's true.
So it seems like there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Exactly.
It all boils down to your project's scope, your budget,
Right.
and your comfort level with different management styles.
Yeah, good point.
The key is to weigh the pros and cons of each model carefully.
For sure.
So we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
We've talked about what Ubuntu developers are, what skills to look for,
Right.
salary ranges,
Yeah.
and the different hiring models.
Makes sense.
Now, the big question is, where do you actually find these talented individuals?
Good question.
We'll dive into that right after a quick wait.
Uh-huh.
No breaks.
All right.
We're going to keep this mini deep dive rolling
Let's do it.
and cover that next.
Sounds good. When it comes to finding Ubuntu talent,
Yeah?
there's good news.
Okay.
You've got options.
I like options.
You can explore freelance platforms like Upwork and TopTal.
Okay, yeah.
These are excellent for finding developers for short-term projects or longer contracts.
So those are great starting points.
Right.
If you need someone quickly or for a specific project.
Exactly.
But what if you're looking for a more permanent addition to your team?
Yeah, good question.
Where do you go then?
In that case, job boards,
Okay.
like Stack Overflow jobs,
Right.
can be really effective.
Yeah.
You can post very targeted listing outlining the exact Ubuntu skills you need.
Okay.
Don't forget the power of professional networks like LinkedIn either.
Good.
A well-crafted search can unearth some hidden gems.
It's amazing how many talented people are out there.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be discovered.
It's true.
But I'm picturing our listener thinking, okay, I've got my list of candidates.
Right.
Now, how do I separate the Ubuntu enthusiasts
Yeah.
from the true experts?
That's a good point.
How do I know they're not just throwing buzzwords around?
That's where the interview process becomes crucial.
Right?
It's your chance to go beyond the resume and really gauge their Ubuntu expertise.
Right.
You need to ask the right questions.
All right, give us the insider tips.
Okay.
What kind of questions will really reveal their Ubuntu chops?
Instead of just asking, are you familiar with Ubuntu security?
Yeah.
Try something like,
Okay.
walk me through your process for securing an Ubuntu server against common vulnerabilities.
Oh, okay.
You want to hear them think through the steps, explain their reasoning,
Right.
and showcase their problem-solving approach within the Ubuntu environment.
So it's not just about knowing the concepts. It's about being able to apply that knowledge
Right.
in real-world scenarios.
Exactly.
What other types of questions should we be asking?
Dive into their experience with package dependencies and updates.
Okay.
Ask about the tools they use for performance monitoring and optimization on Ubuntu servers.
Okay.
Get specific.
Yeah.
If they struggle to articulate the differences between APT and YUM, a package manager used in Red Hat systems,
Right.
that might be a red flag.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You're really trying to see if they have a deep understanding of how Ubuntu works.
Right.
Not just a surface-level familiarity.
Exactly.
And speaking of red flags, what are some other warning signs to watch out for
Okay.
during the interview process?
One thing that should raise a little suspicion
Yeah.
is a lack of specifics in their answers.
Okay.
If they're giving you general Linux answers
Okay.
without really digging into the Ubuntu specific details,
Yeah.
that's a red flag.
Okay.
Another thing to watch out for. Yeah. Is a reluctance to talk about past projects in detail.
Right.
A true Ubuntu expert should be able to walk you through the challenges they faced,
Okay.
the solutions they implemented, and the lessons they learned,
Right.
all within the context of Ubuntu.
But let's be honest.
Sure.
Even the most experienced developers might get stumped by a question or two.
It happens.
Does that mean you should automatically write them off?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No one expects a developer to know absolutely everything off the top of their head.
Right.
What's important is how they handle those situations.
Yeah.
Do they acknowledge their knowledge gap
Uh-huh.
and show a willingness to learn and research?
Right.
That's a valuable trait.
So to sum it all up for our listener,
Okay.
you've got to do your homework.
Right.
Understand the different hiring models
Mm-hmm.
and which one best suits your needs.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to tap into global talent pools
Good point.
for a wider range of expertise
Yeah,
and potential cost savings.
for sure.
And when it comes to interviews,
Right.
ask targeted questions that reveal those deep Ubuntu insights.
Exactly.
Don't settle for generic Linux knowledge.
No.
And remember, if you're looking for a more guided approach
Yeah.
to finding the perfect Ubuntu developer,
Uh-huh.
theperfectdeveloper.com can be an invaluable resource.
It is.
They can help you navigate the different platforms and agencies out there
Right.
and connect you with the right fit for your specific project.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They even have a 5 questions tool
Yes.
that helps you pinpoint exactly what you're looking for in a developer.
A tool.
It's like a shortcut to finding your perfect Ubuntu match.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
and I hope our listeners feeling a lot more confident
I hope so.
about tackling their Ubuntu hiring challenge.
Yeah, good stuff.
But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
Right.
We've focused a lot on hiring. But what about the possibility of upskilling your existing team?
Ooh, interesting.
Could investing in Ubuntu training
Uh-huh.
for your current developers be a hidden advantage?
It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, instead of just focusing on hiring,
Right.
what about upskilling your existing team?
There you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best solution is right under your nose.
Uh-huh.
Investing in Ubuntu training for your current developers could be a real game changer.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's like instead of searching for that elusive Ubuntu unicorn,
Right?
you're creating your own.
Exactly. Think about it.
Yeah.
You already have a team that knows your company,
Mhm.
your product, your culture.
Right.
Why not give them the skills to become your in-house Ubuntu experts?
It's like investing in your team's future
It is.
and giving them valuable new skills that they can use across different projects.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, it could save you a lot of time and money in the long run.
Big time.
That's a really compelling point.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to consider.
For sure.
So to wrap this up,
Okay.
we've taken a deep dive into the world of hiring Ubuntu developers.
We have.
We've talked about the specific skills to look for,
Mm-hmm.
the different hiring models,
Right.
where to find these talented folks,
Yeah.
and the key questions to ask during interviews.
Important stuff.
But, as we've just discussed,
Right.
sometimes the best solution might involve looking inward
It might.
and empowering your existing team with Ubuntu expertise.
I agree.
Either way, finding the right Ubuntu solution for your project doesn't have to be a daunting task.
Scope.
Remember to visit theperfectdeveloper.com.
Good resource.
They've got the tools and resources to help you find the perfect developers
Uh-huh.
or connect you with the right training resources to upskill your current team.
Exactly.
Check out their 5 questions tool.
Yeah.
It's a super simple way to clarify exactly what you need,
It is.
whether you're hiring or training.
Good point.
And with that, I think it's time to wrap up this mini deep dive.
That's good.
Until next time, happy developing.